What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, DN Duel commentary. We got Lord Josh at the top, 15-13. V Lizzy at the bottom, 12-23. V Lizzy got game one. Lord Josh opened with Myrmilio, which got him a bottomless. He played Duality for a debunk, so he passed back to V Lizzy. So he has two very powerful traps. You're wondering how V Lizzy can come back. V Lizzy took game one in incredible fashion. He only had 200 life points left. He reckless greed, and eventually he won the duel because Lord Josh doesn't read cards just like apparently I don't. He took a direct attack at 2,500 life points from a downward magician who had like 3 materials on it, and he thought that he was going to survive, and no, he wasn't. So, anyways, it looks like V Lizzy is also playing frogs with Mega Monarchs. So yeah, it's a thing. Anyways, V Lizzy, or excuse me, Lord Josh attacks with Myrmilio and then attacks with, well, I'm not sure which one he attacked with. It doesn't matter. They're both 16k. The point is, he tried to attack, and V Lizzy walled him up with Ronin Totem. Now, you would think that if he did run into, well, you know what? Outside of running into a hand, there's no way he could really debunk. He goes into Black Ship of Corn, and he's going to try and pop Ronin Totem. Probably going to be successful. He is successful. V Lizzy's going to eat 1,000 damage. And Lord Josh, he has at least one way to negate Ronin Totem. Now, V Lizzy does play Treeborn Frog in his build. His build isn't anywhere near as polished as Mazic's build from what I've seen. And he already admits that he thinks he's probably going to lose this match because he says his side deck isn't very good. Lord Josh, I'm really not sure how good this guy is because V Lizzy tributed 2 water monsters for Mobius in game 1. He targeted 3 cards. Lord Josh tried to respond with like 2 of them, and then he said that he was trying to activate a card while he was tributing. And I'm like, wait a minute, you can't even do that. That's not a legal action. Like, your opponent can't be like, okay, tribute summon, and you be like, hold up, activate this card before you tribute. Like, that's not fucking legal. Anyways, it looks like V Lizzy is going to summon Swap Frog. I'm rooting for V Lizzy in this matchup because I don't like this hand trap tricks artifact garbage deck, and I don't like anybody who plays it because it's just bullshit, man. It's like, be original. I mean, the deck was fun for like a week. Now it's like, all right, whatever. All right, so Swap Frog comes down, which dumps Treeborn Frog into the graveyard, and he might be able to make V Lizzy burn one of his, what's it called? He might make him burn a debunk like this turn because either Treeborn's coming, either Treeborn Frog's coming down, or potentially Ronin Totem's coming down. You see Lord Josh sets up a card D, sets another card in his back row, probably a bluff, and he draws 2. So massive advantage to Lord Josh, who now has 9 cards, to V Lizzy's 7, although I guess you could say 8 because he has Treeborn Frog, which can activate. So it's hit with DD Crow, and that's unfortunate because it saves him from having to use his, it really does save him from having to use his debunk. But you got to look at it this way. It's not like Lord Josh did any damage last turn. He just, he basically traded in damage for another card. And at some point, I imagine V Lizzy's going to start special summoning Swap Frog. If he can get, if he can get what's it called on board, he'll be in good shape. If he can get Lancer on board, he'll be in really good shape. You see, he pitches Poison Draw to activate Swap Frog's effect to special summon. Lord Josh is thinking about if he has a response, because I mean, he can. I don't think. You can't. I don't think you can debunk on a special summon because it's an inherent special summon. I don't think that. It's inherent, so you can't debunk it from the hand. But he can. I mean, Lord Josh, you can respond with Vandy's Emptiness or something like that. I mean, so. Anyways, or you could warning it. There's a bunch of other things you could do. All right, so actually, I don't even know if you'd be able to Vanity Emptiness it. All right, he puts it in defense mode. I don't think you would. And he's going to get his dump on. You wonder if maybe he's going to dump another Treeborn into the graveyard? Nope, he drops Dupe Frog in there. And you know what? I guess technically that DD Crow was a neg one because the Treeborn was put there from Swap Frog. So, yeah, even though he went plus turn during his last turn with card D, he went +1, but he actually goes neg 1 with the DD Crow. So, advantage is kind of like even here. Alright, so V Lizzy has dropped Dupe Frog into the graveyard. I think he's probably going to try and summon Ronin Totem. Okay, he bounces swap back to the hand. He might try and normal summon it. Maybe not. He just passed his turn. I don't know why he didn't normal summon it and dump another Treeborn into the graveyard. Okay, so you see that Lord Josh summons Vermilio. Probably going to get Trap Tricks, Trap on Nightmare. He's going to attack for 3,700. Maybe he has Gores or something like that. And that's why he didn't want to play Treeborn. Okay, so he has Battle Fader. I guess maybe that's why he didn't dump Treeborn into the graveyard. I still would have done it. That's another card that Magic doesn't play. I think Battle Fader is... I would side it. I wouldn't main it. Because, like, right now, there's not a lot of OTKing. Like, the only deck that I could see consistently OTKing is Medoche. Like, outside of that, there's nothing else that I would really fear of OTKing. And you know what? Magic runs back row, so you can't really run Gores anyway. But I would side deck Battle Fader against, like, Medoche, and that's pretty much it. So Lord Josh sets another card in his back row. We assume that that's Trap Trick, Trap on Nightmare. And you just wonder if V-Lizzy can get something big enough on board that can get rid of some of these back row. Because, I mean, he's got Bottomless, he's got Debunk, Trap Tricks, Trap on Nightmare. I told V-Lizzy he should side in Malevolent Catastrophe and what's it called? And Full House. Because, I mean, if he can get Lancer on board, it's actually pretty easy to Full House somebody if you have Lancer on board. Because the face-ups actually do count as spell and traps, apparently. So you can just use those, and then you can nuke your opponent's back row. I'm not quite sure what they're waiting on. Lord Josh has already set a card in his back row, so he's technically in main phase 2, not in battle phase. And he should be he should just be moving towards end phase, and then play should go back to V-Lizzy. Not exactly sure what he's thinking about. I mean, maybe he's thinking about using Korn's effect in main phase 2. It won't actually do 1,000 damage because this guy doesn't hit the graveyard, just it gets banished. So you would be surprised how many people have fucked that up. They thought they had game using a Black Ship of Korn effect, and they don't realize, hey, it doesn't go to the graveyard, it doesn't inflict 1,000 damage, so not a good play. And maybe Lord Josh died or something like that. I'm not quite sure. What is he doing? Let's go to the chat. It says Mobius would be the best top deck right now. He runs 3 Call Haunted with hands. And I guess V-Lizzy's calling an admin because Nerd Josh has apparently died or just refuses to make a play here. So, yeah, that's a thing. Okay, so Lord Josh finally decides to return back to life right before I was about to trash this video and try and find something else to record. Maybe we'll actually get a conclusion to this duel now. Play is on V-Lizzy, who I really still think should have normal summoned last turn his Swap Frog after special summoning it, and should have gotten a second Treeborn. I mean, maybe the Treeborn gets debunked, maybe it doesn't. Either way, you get your opponent to use debunk. Because I mean, now you look at the situation, you could have had went for Treeborn, and if you didn't have anything good, then you could have went into you know, like what was it, Alchemic Magician. So he normal summons a Fat Veiler, which I wouldn't even have against this deck. I wouldn't still be running it. He can go, I was gonna say maybe he's gonna go Formula Synchron, but that wouldn't be any good. Oh, Slacker Magician. Why did I call her Alchemic Magician? I think that's her Japanese name, isn't it? She looks like she's doing alchemy, right? He goes into Slacker Magician. See, man, you could have used the Treeborn and made that shit. You wouldn't have had to use your normal summon or anything. You gotta get another Treeborn in the graveyard, dog. You fucking up. So anyways, V-Lizzy has Treeborn, or excuse me, Slacker Magician just sitting there chilling. And, yeah, Black Ship of Korn totally can't kill her. Because when she's targeted, you can just detach. Actually, yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think if she can't be targeted at all, or if you detach and then she can't be targeted. Once per turn, can't be destroyed by battle during either player's turn. When targeted, you detach. Yeah, okay, that's what it is. So now he decides to warning her. Oh yeah, and that's the thing. If a black ship would have tried to use his effect, black ship would have died. It just wouldn't have been negated. I didn't know. Totally forgot that she destroyed shit too. I just thought she negated it. So think, hey, maybe why not just use the effect, burn out a material or whatever. Now it's like even more reason why you needed to get that Treeborn in the graveyard. And if Lord Josh has another monster, he probably might be able to just win the duel. Because I mean, if it's a level 4 anyway, he can just go attack cowboy. It doesn't really matter what level 4 it is. Okay, so yeah. I don't even know if he has anything left to search, but I would imagine he's going to go attack cowboy. And that's crazy. He drew all 3 of his Myrmilios without drawing the other trap tricks, the Dianair. So, let's see. He takes 32, takes 21. Oh, well, he can't go cowboy. He goes for Gores, which you can debunk a Gores if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you can definitely debunk Gores. What is Lord Josh going to do? I mean, he puts Gores in defense mode. He needs to. The token's not optional. Okay, I was gonna say. I mean, he can't trap tricks Nightmare in anyway, but I'm gonna say the token is definitely not optional. When this card is summoned in this way, activate the effect. Yeah, that's not optional. I would just put both monsters in attack mode and just start crashing. If I already know that Debunk and Bottomless and Trap Trick Travel Nightmare are probably 3 of your set cards, then really I'm only concerned about 2 cards. And if one of those cards is an artifact, that means really I'm only concerned about 1 card. And I would just mentally believe, I would make myself believe one of those cards is an artifact. So I'm really playing one-on-one because you can have cards there, but if you can't use them, they're irrelevant to me. Thus, I would put both monsters in attack mode, and I would attack. Well, I'd attack. I would leave you with this guy on board. Actually, I might go attack and leave you with the Black Ship of Corn, just in case you top deck another monster. Okay, so you see Ronin Totem comes down, and we have a tribute for Caius. Nice, very nice. Caius is going to try and take out Black Ship of Corn, which would basically force Lord Josh to have to use a Bottomless. Doesn't matter. He's still going to eat 1,000 damage and lose his monster. So pluses all around for V-Lizzy. And now you would think, hypothetically, he can just put both monsters in attack mode and crash over. So he got the Bottomless. It would have been better if he had Mobius, but, you know, whatever. The dumbest thing V-Lizzy can do is just pass here, because his opponent will eventually get over Gores, even if he has to make something shitty like Diamond Direwolf. He puts the token in attack mode. Please put Gores in attack mode too. I mean, he could be concerned about 101, but if you kill both monsters, 101 is really not a problem. Your opponent has to top deck pretty much only Dianera to get to 101. He doesn't. He just crashes over with he crashes over one of the Myrmilio with the token. I don't agree with that, but whatever. It's not me playing. Especially considering your opponent's at about 4,000, so the more damage you can do, the better. That would have been another 1,100. Your opponent would have only been at 3K. V-Lizzy sets a card. I wouldn't be surprised if Lord Josh has an MST there. He top decks Ice Hand. He summons it. Asking V-Lizzy if that's okay. That's a card that shouldn't be very good against a Monarch deck. I mean, they don't historically set a lot of back row. And now he goes for an XC. I think he's going to probably go 101 and just attack. Oh, never mind. He goes for Heart Draco. And just, I assume, is going to attack directly for game. And that is why you shouldn't have left him with a level 4 monster on board. And T attacks. Oh, never mind. He has enemy controller. Puts it in defense mode. And I know that Lord Josh definitely doesn't have anything. For some reason, I think Lord Josh is thinking that he wants to use the second effect. Yeah, he just wants to put it in defense mode. Now, V-Lizzy has to do the smart thing here, and that is to obviously try and crash with both monsters. He looks at his graveyard. I think he's trying to Rodent Totem, but I don't think he has any monsters left in his graveyard to do Rodent Totem. I mean, he can normal summon Swap Frog, and obviously that will, that'll put him in a position to where he can use Rodent Totem again, but his opponent probably would debunk it at that point. So I would dump Treeborn into the graveyard. Okay, so he puts Gores in attack mode. I assume you attack with token. That's what he does. It dies. Now you attack with the big guy for 27. Oh, okay, he has deep presence, so I guess it wasn't that big of a mistake to use that. Although, all things considered, it pretty much would have been the same exact. Like, it would have been a wash anyway. So, he goes main phase 2, special summon Swap Frog. He activates the effect. I think he's going to dump Treeborn Frog this time. And you know what? I think I'm gonna run this deck sooner or later. We don't have a lot of graveyard hate in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh. You know what I mean? Especially something like Magic's deck. I mean, I just think it looks so fun. It looks so, just looks so awesome. There's not a ton of side deck cards. I mean, you got like DD Crow, Debunk, but everything else, a lot of the Soul Drains and shit like that. They're Macro, Deep Fissure. They're all limited to one. So if you play back row, it's not like you're gonna have a hard time fighting back against those cards. You see V-Lizzy activates Rodent Totem, and it gets DD Crow, but technically he's getting pluses out of this, so I don't think he has to be that concerned. I mean, look at the game. He's technically +1 in the game right now. Like, he's 1 for 1 now because Lord Josh just got, and he just drew, but they both have 5 on 5. Like, how the fuck is that possible? Like, Lord Josh had I mean, he's had basically everything that he's wanted, all the great traps, and he's still, like, he's not even beyond even in this game. Gores gave him pluses, and the frog dumps are now giving him pluses. And you see now, I mean, he's going back to the well. He activates the effect. And, I mean, this dude plays a lot of traps. Plays a lot of traps, not traps, plays a lot of frogs. He plays, 3 Rodent Totem, which isn't technically a frog, but still. He plays 3 Swap Frogs, 3 Dupe Frogs, I think a couple of poison draws. So you need to be able to do something, Lord Josh, because now he's starting to get brash enough to where he's attacking with Swap Frog 2, and why wouldn't he? You've already used 1 D Prison, and if this goes through, that is 3,100. Okay, Lord Josh takes the 3,100. I'd put this dude right back in my hand and just pass turn. I mean, if you can summon Rodent Totem, I would. Yeah, he attempts to summon Rodent Totem. At some point, Lord Josh is going to stop you. He's going to use that debunk at some point. I think he should have debunked right there. Because, okay, well, I mean, think about it, right? Let's say you're holding a debunk for, well, you really should have debunked Gores, but that's beyond the point. If you're holding debunk for maybe a Battle Fader or something like that, okay, well, what if you end up getting gamed or something like that because of this bastard? Like, what's that going to do? Alright, so we see Lord Josh set a monster. And I think that V-Lizzy can probably hang back and be a little defensive. Unless he has like a Mega Mobius or something like that. If he has like a Mega Mobius, then, I mean, he can go offensive. Because he can special summon Swap Frog, then go Mega Mobius, tribute it, and then attack. You have to remember, even though this could be a hand monster, if it's the wrong hand, okay, well then never mind. He goes Soul Exchange. Tributing what card? He goes Soul Exchange, tributing the face down monster. That should go to the graveyard. And Lord Josh just scoops it up. Wow. Okay. Frog Monarchs get the victory. Thank you guys for watching as always.